see all of you. I can't recall when it was that I started anticipating experiencing you in this lifetime. But I can remember looking forward to it, yearning for it, longing for it, feeling the emptiness inside myself and not experiencing it. And then, of course, we're here to do, because that's part of us who comes forward in an incarnation. The thinker and the doer always comes forward. And it's as if the knower part of us pulls back. But it's there in case we ever need to have that kind of input from our higher self. But that we're involved in this and living this particular incarnation is an absolute confirmation that reincarnation is a fact of life. Now that I have engaged and you have engaged and we're engaged in living life, then we go from here so far as what our experience is. Sometimes I like my experience with you, sometimes I don't. But don't take that too seriously, because sometimes I like my experience and sometimes I don't. And that's just me on me. But then again, this may also be something you experience. But this brings forward the realization that not only do we incarnate individually, we also incarnate as groups. Think about your family. Your mother, your father, if you have siblings, cousins, other relatives. You think of it in terms of this particular incarnation. But if you can expand that to entertain the realization that you've lived together before as family. But your parents haven't always been your parents. As a matter of fact, you may have been a parent to your now parent. I know that's shocking. But you see, this is a part of what Source has established for us. In order to experience enlightenment, it's necessary for us to go through every phase of experience possible to us, so that through it we can come to a place of enlightenment. So we play roles in a variety of lifetimes. And the roles that we play give us the opportunity to experience from that perspective, so that when we then come back, we have a larger part of our becoming available to us, because by thinking and by doing, we have the experience that then renders itself as actual enlightenment. This also includes remembering. Sometimes we actually experience each other and we can remember, I know you. I've experienced you before. Or you have a deja vu so far as a location on the earth. You didn't experience it in this lifetime, but it's so real that you know you've been there before. So looking at this, we can see a lot of things happen in any given lifetime. How much time have you spent looking for that other special person in your life? God only knows, huh? Or maybe you do remember, and that's because you have it chronicled so far as the time that it happened. Well, this other special person we've come to look at and say, soulmate. How many soulmates do you think it's possible we could have? Only one? Two? A number? What about from within a given incarnation, who you actually incarnate with as a group of spirits, as a group of souls? And then from there to another lifetime, so that you have the right match to give you the exact purposeful opportunity for your own evolution, your own growth. Now, the rub seems to come in that we experience and are experiencing, we don't always like what we get. So there's this piece that comes up that's called karma that really has a kind of a negative connotation to it. Not kind of, it has a negative connotation to it. But it's a misread on our part, you see. Because karma really isn't punishment. It's only feedback from Source to give us a better comprehension of what we're doing. You want to use the phrase, sow, reap, fine, that'll work. But do realize that so far as Source is concerned, it's not interested in punishment at all. Why should it be? We do a damn good job of that ourselves. We take over and make it what we do. But if you can bring this into a place of realizing that this really is a marvelous opportunity that we signed up for. However long ago it was that we signed up for this, well, let's just say it was when the universe was young. That enough of us got together and said, all right, I'm going to volunteer to be on planet Earth. And I'm going to be there to experience this together with you. So, obviously, planet Earth is not our home planet, but it certainly is the one where we keep coming back to work out opportunities and situations. So if we look at this, we see, all right, I can embrace the realization of reincarnation because I'm presently incarnated. I can also embrace the realization that this is an experience where I learn by doing. I remember by doing. And all of this together brings forth a developing sense of enlightenment. Now, this is tying into doing to become. But a lot of people don't want to take the initiative to do what they feel like they need to do in order to have their lives come to a place of, I feel good about me being me. And especially if you make mistakes. Now, I don't have that problem. Okay, a little humor always helps sometimes in serious life. To look at your life and see the mistakes that you've made and then to be crippled by that realization is not the object of it. It's to bring you to a place of seeing, all right, I've made these choices. Now I can go on and make other choices. And now what we're doing is we're getting into the concept of destiny. Now please do realize that the destiny is something that you actually create. If you don't, there'll be plenty there to take it over for you and create your own destiny. The world is full of those right now. All you have to do is just take a look around what's going on and how many people, how many organizations, how many positions of power are there to take your life over and live it for you to where you then get the consequences. It's one of the ways that we learn. So, let's look and see, so far as destiny is concerned, it has a lot to do with your beliefs. If you can begin to look and see how your beliefs are shaping your life, and you don't like the way it's going, then change your beliefs, and your reality is going to change also. The universe rearranges itself accordingly to your picture of reality. It will accommodate you in whatever choices you make. If you think you're powerless and you're destined to fail, the universe is simply going to assume that this must be the lessons you need to fulfill yourself, and then gives them to you. So it's not really that the universe is punishing you. The universe is simply accommodating you. So if you want to make a change here, there's a formula that you can take, and perhaps this can help you. It's called the destiny formula. Everything is energy, and energy always follows thought. Thought becomes belief. Belief shapes your reality, and then your reality determines your destiny. Pretty simple formula. Now, if you want to try it out, even if you're the biggest skeptic of all, just for 1 week, try living it without finishing a negative thought. You know, a negative thought comes up, somebody does something, and you say, and you say, you're really a wonderful person, I'm just making it. Instead of following through with a negative thought, just change it and replace it with a positive one. Try this for a week and you're going to notice how it affects you. And what you're actually doing, in addition to changing your thoughts, you're changing what's going on inside your brain. You see, your brain is just a bunch of thoroughfares through which patterns of thinking travel. Because you have been so accustomed to thinking certain ways, there are certain pathways that they're like major freeways. You want to change those, then what you have to do is you have to start putting inside of you the difference that you want to have as your experience. And what you do is you create new neural pathways in your brain. If you keep this up long enough, you're going to establish those as the main pathway of experience for you. And you'll find that what results is your destiny. Instead of giving your destiny over to someone else or something else, you begin to create it for yourself the way you want it to. I know sometimes it seems that it's easier said than done, and I know sometimes the obstacles seem to be great and stand in your way so far as experiences you have. One of the things that has come to my mind of recent that has stayed with me for a while has been the passing of Robin Williams. As an individual, he stood out for me in a number of ways, which I'm sure with you too. And then to have the experience of what he apparently chose as passing, it didn't seem to have a match so far as what he gave to everyone else. But then again, we don't know what was going on inside of him in his personal self. All we got was what was coming through him. And sometimes it's the same with us. No one else sees what's going on inside of us. No one knows the inner struggles, the inner torment, the inner challenge that is there. But if you really want to make a difference and change your life to where your destiny reflects the positiveness of your change, then you're going to have to put yourself in that position of living it. If you don't get it this time, it's all right. You'll have other opportunities. Because you see, this isn't the end incarnation. There are many more available to us. So in bringing this together, I'm encouraging you to look again and see. It's up to you, it's up to me. What we want to live and how we want to experience the rest of our incarnation personally and collectively. So maybe if you get up off of your spiritual best intentions and start carving your destiny, you'll find that you actually then program to put the personal and planetary destiny into this unified field before the universe. And the universe says, yes, and it becomes our living manifestation. So get cracking. It's your life. Thank you very much. For more information about the Metaphysical Church of Enlightenment or the Rodin Foundation, please go to our website at www.rodin.org. If you have been inspired by the revelations shared in these podcasts, please donate to the Rodin Foundation's ongoing efforts to help others help themselves at www.rodin.org/donate.